here on Idea Television. The show takes you beyond the pitch, the scores, and stats to champion integrity, inclusivity, and innovation in the world of sports, powered by cutting edge technology and groundbreaking research. An educative, fun, and interesting show that keeps you glued to your TV screens. I am Dearest and I am thrilled to take you guys on a roller coaster ride in the world of sports and innovation. And of course, let's keep the conversation going. Follow us across all our social media platforms at Idea Television and stay connected with everything beyond the game.
Good morning and welcome to Beyond the Game right here on Idea Television. I am your host, Dearest Mba, and as always, I promise to keep you guys abreast with the latest happenings in the world of sport. And today we'll be talking about the International Football Association Board and how it concerns football come 2025-2026 season. But before all of that, we go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll go to the discussion proper. Welcome back to Beyond the Game. If you're just joining us, you're right on track. Today, I have a very special guest with me. He's a sports analyst. He's none other than Akomaye Cyprian. Good morning, CY.
Good
Welcome
morning,
to the show.
Dearest. Good morning. It's been a while.
Been a minute.
Yeah.
so lovely to have you on the show today.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Now, let's talk about IFAB and the new, football rules come 2025-2026 season. These changes include a limit for goalkeepers, clarification on ball, drop procedures, and adjustment to how accidental contact with the ball outside the field of play is handled. Let's just break it down. The first rule, goalkeeper possession. Now, goalkeepers will now have an 8-second limit to release the ball after gaining possession. Referees will use a visual 5-second countdown to signal the final moments of the allotted time. Failure to release the ball within the time limits will result in a corner kick for the opposing team.
Yeah.
How do we react?
Something tells me that Andrew Onana is going to be a victim.
That's if he's not replaced. Because now United already.
Wherever he goes to, wherever he goes to, something tells me that Andrew Onana is going to be the biggest victim.
Okay.
Like something is even telling me right now that law was brought because of Andrew Onana, because Andrew Onana can be very, 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 very somehow when it comes to handling the ball. I think he does a lot of, he plays too much. There was a match last season where United were losing, Manchester United were losing that game, and Onana was still doing delay tactics, and you are losing. It's like something that has become a part of him, and that's bad. That's not nice. That's not nice. So I think they are doing that to speed up the pace of the game, because some goalkeepers use that, especially when they are winning late in the game. They use that to delay the game or to cut the momentum of the opposing team. So I think it's a very good law for football, because it's going to it has already been implemented, because it was used during this Club World Cup against Londwell William, the South African national team goalkeeper that also plays for Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah.
So it was used during the Club World Cup, I think just a few days ago or so. He held the ball for more than 8 seconds, and a corner kick was given to the opposing team.
Well, did you think the law is a little bit harsh?
Yeah,
8 seconds is a very short time to think.
8 seconds is a very short time until when you are losing.
True.
When you are losing, 8 seconds becomes a very long, a very, very valuable time. So we have seen magic happening in football, or miracles happening in football within 5 to 6 seconds. So that 8 seconds is more than enough time if you are the losing side of the match. So FIFA bringing this law, I think it's just a way of letting goalkeepers know that you can't do any form of delay tactics anymore. It has graduated from before. It was goalkeepers back pass. I think that was what even started this whole thing. a Denmark game. I think, yeah, those days where the goalkeeper will play to the outfield player.
Yeah.
And the outfield player will play it back to the goalkeeper. The keeper will pick and will catch the ball, play it back to the outfield. Like, it was like it delayed that game for over 5 minutes. They were doing the same thing. I think that was when these changes started coming up. These ideas started coming up that we need to do something to curb this. Otherwise, goalkeepers will become something else on the pitch.
I mean, they'll become accustomed to delaying, especially when, like you said, when you're losing. 8 seconds will be like 8 hours.
8 hours.
But then when you're winning, let's say World Cup finals, and you're winning, and you know, you wanna do everything possible to make sure that the opposing team does not gain momentum. So whatever you can do to slow the pace of the game, you definitely want to try it. So this rule by the
IFAB.
The IFAB will help sanction and checkmate most of these players, because I know I've seen it over time. I mean, sometimes it results to violence. You see players trying to drag the ball away from the goalkeeper or from an opposing player and all of that. All right, let's go to the next law, drop ball procedures. If play is stopped inside the penalty area, the ball will be dropped to the defending team's goalkeeper. Outside the penalty area, the ball will be dropped to a player from the team that would have had possession if it's clear to the referees. Now, if possession is unclear, the ball will be dropped to the team that touched it last. The ball will be dropped where play was stopped.
I think in street football, we used to call this thing JOS. Yes, that's the name we used to call it those days. JOS, where no team gets the ball, so the ref throws the ball up, and then whoever touches it after the first bounce gains possession. So I think what they're trying to do is to be fair right now, and they are just trying to play safe at the same time, because I see no reason why when the ball is stopped inside the box, it's given to the team that whose 18-yard box is being played in, and then when it's outside the box, a different rule is being applied. Like, that's just IFA bending the rule a little bit, trying to try to be fair. They don't want to be strict. So because if you are giving the ball to the team, being a little bit too much. If you are giving the ball to the team whose 18-yard box the ball is being played, make it consistent. Just make it consistent. So why give the ball to the team, and then when it's outside the box, you are free to give it to any other? I know they said that the team or whoever touches the ball last gets the advantage or something like that. But then I think they are being too much.
All right. I mean, you've heard it from CY. IFAB is just being too much or too extra.
When it comes to this rule.
All right. Another law, accidental contact outside the field of play. Now, accidental interference with the ball by coaches, substitutes, or dismissed players will no longer result in disciplinary action. Instead, an indirect free kick will be awarded to the opposing team.
Okay.
How do we react to this?
Okay. Concerning this, we have seen there is a very, very important clause or word that was used there, accidental.
Yes.
Okay, because we have seen a lot of coaches and then players on the bench interfering with play, even while they are outside. We have seen a case of Mourinho, even Pep Guardiola. They've all done things like that. When the opposing team is trying to gain momentum, they'll do everything possible to, like, even Diego Simeone does it sometimes. Just do something that will disrupt that momentum, including blocking the player from picking the ball. Like, sometimes some coaches even go as far as kicking the ball away when a throw-in is supposed to be taken. And then It's a good one. This is a
Obviously.
good law. This is a good
I
law.
think the law will benefit some and maybe not all, but
Yeah, but the problem is that clause accidental, that word that is there though can be interpreted into different forms.
yeah.
Some people, it depends on, I think that would depend on the ref's discretion, like the ref's judgment. Is this accidental or not? Is this person interfering with play accidentally or not? So we may have to start using VAR to check it.
That's a lot of work.
That's
And
a
I
lot
think,
of work.
and I feel like all these laws can actually slow the pace of the game.
Yeah.
We just when you see football, I don't know if it's just me, but then football from 2000 down to 2010 was, I don't know, some might argue it was more fun.
Yeah,
You know,
peak football.
yes, there was no more, the rules were not so much. People were just like free to kick the ball whichever way they wanted. But then there were so many wrong calls by referees.
Yeah.
And that's why we, advocated for technologies that can help, checkmate most of these errors. But then the technology is here and it might now slow the beautiful game we love. Now, the next law is the VAR communication. Referees may, at the discretion of the competition, verbally explain VAR decisions to spectators.
Concerning this,
Yeah.
I think the Premier League, I think are currently working on announcing, or the ref giving an explanation publicly, okay, during the match to the fans to probably calm them down and let them know that this is the law I'm applying and this is why I'm making this decision and so on and so forth. We have been seeing that happening in some other sports and even in football in some other leagues.
Yeah.
We have seen it happen, and then is that necessary? Is that necessary? Is that necessary? Because I don't think it's really necessary. Because if whatever the ref is saying at that point, he has already made up his mind.
True.
So whether he's right or wrong, it doesn't change anything. I think they are just trying to be fair to the fans in the stadium. But then it's not necessary. I don't feel that is necessary. Because whether the ref is making a wrong call or the right call, it's not going to change anything. Announcing it to the entire fans in the stadium won't change the fact that he has made that decision. So I don't think it's good, but not necessary.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
I totally agree with you, because the referee makes the final decision. So if he decides that, the penalty stand. If he says the penalty doesn't stand,
That's the point.
Communicating with the players or even the fans does not really change.
It doesn't change anything.
Because
It
the
doesn't.
reason why we have VAR is to be able to checkmate if there was a wrong call or a right call.
call.
So regardless of how they want to bend these laws, I understand maybe they want people to just be, just be involved in the whole process. But then, does it really make sense? Because, like I said, it is spoiling the game, in my opinion. But I know, football fans are extremists. So it's like, even if you bend the rule or you don't bend the rule, they'll always have an opinion. Or they might not like it. So, and people like it when it favors them. But then when it's against your team, let's say your team is losing a very important game, you wouldn't like it.
No, you
so
won't.
just like you said, I don't think the VAR communicating with the players and fans will really change his decision.
It's not necessary. It's
Because
actually not necessary.
at the end of the day, VAR is there to help you make the right call. So, I mean, regardless, but let's just see. Anyways, moving on to the next law, assistant referee positioning. Assistant referees will be positioned in line with the penalty spot, especially when evaluating offside and goal line situations.
Concerning this,
Yeah.
right from the first time I saw it, I have been trying to wrap my head around what they are trying to say.
Okay.
What in particular are they implying? Are they trying to tell us that the assistant ref is going to move, like, will be in line with the penalty box?
Or maybe he'll be moving just like referees are moving, because really, we don't understand all of this.
That's the
changes,
point. I really
yeah.
don't. That this particular law, I still don't understand what they are trying to say. Do they mean the linesman or the fourth official? What are they trying to, like? Is it the linesman or the fourth official?
But the linesmen and assistant referees and all of this other the fourth officials, they have their own roles to play.
Yes.
Let's not forget, it was the linesman who made that call Maradona's famous hand of God.
No.
That particular one. So maybe, just maybe, if this also applies to the assistant referees, the linesmen, just maybe they can all work hand in hand to, make the right calls.
Again, is it necessary?
That's the big question.
Is it necessary? Because I know the VAR only interferes when there is a clear and obvious error. We know that one. But then, they should just let these refs be. Because all these laws, they are up to the ref to apply. And sometimes this may become too much to handle. I know that's their job. That is their job. That they are professionals. But then, some of these things, I think they are just not necessary. Not necessary. Concerning the handling of the ball by goalkeepers, fine, that is cool. The other one, fine, but this, I don't think all these ones are necessary, because ideally, refs move, that's linesmen, they move up and down the touchline.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and even, like, I think they move in line with the ball. They move in line with the ball. Okay, so I still don't understand what they are trying to imply. What they are trying to say concerning this law. Why? What changes? Because we see linesmen normally they try to stay in line with the offside track.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why most times you see them just doing their hand like this, because I think most times they do that because that is the position of the ball at that particular point. So, but I don't think this. I still don't. I may have to do a research concerning this.
I think we'll keep tabs with this particular one and understand better what the IFAB law is trying to say. Anyways, the next one is the additional innovations. Referee body cameras will be trailed at the FIFA Club World Cup. It's currently being used in the FIFA Club World Cup. Only team captains will be permitted to speak to the referee in certain situations. These changes are designed to enhance the game by promoting fairness, increasing the pace of play, and improving overall fan experience. I like this one. Over time, we've seen players clustering around referees, especially when he makes a call that does not favor their team. So maybe to help manage the situation better.
This particular law has been in place in the Premier League since last season.
All right.
This is the season that just ended. I think they started it at the beginning of last season, and it worked to an extent. It did really work, because we footballers are, in quotes, liars.
Obviously. They lie too much.
In quotes. So you see them doing everything possible to influence the ref's decision, including pressuring him, especially Spanish teams. Spanish teams are the biggest culprits when it comes to this particular attitude. You see it from Barcelona players, you see it from Real Madrid players, you see it from the Spanish national team. They do this a lot. Clustering around the ref, like pressurizing him. You see them doing hand like this. And
sometimes he ends up, making decisions based on the pressure mounted on him as a referee. And that's why I feel like referees need that space to think and make the right call. Because if not, sometimes these English players, they know how to do this thing. They can pressure the ref so bad that sometimes the ref becomes a bit biased, not because he wanted to, but because he was pressured to make a particular decision. So I think the introduction of referee body cameras and the limitation on who can speak to the referees aim to increase transparency and reduce potential disruptions during matches.
It's good because, obviously the cameras are going to have audio recording, so they can
video also,
so they can also get pick up words around the ref, what him or who is saying during the game, including what the ref is saying. Okay, I remember an incident that happened in I think 2008 or so.
Yeah.
Where I don't know, within that period, where Mikel went to tell David Luiz. Yeah, was it Mikel? That went to tell David Luiz that the ref said something.
Yeah.
And then out of anger, David Luiz went to attack. I think that should be Mark Clattenburg. He went to attack the ref, and it became a serious problem, and it was bad. Now, at the end of the day, they discovered that the ref did not actually say anything. So if there were technologies like this in place back then.
Yeah.
Obviously, it would have picked up whatever the ref had said, even if the ref had said it, because there was no recording. He can deny it, and nothing will be done to him. So, but if there were all these technologies back then, I think they would have gotten a clearer view of the incident and then taking a better decision, because I think Mike went to do a ball. So with all these technologies right now in place, I think that would also protect the ref.
Yeah.
It will also protect the ref. And then the players also, because a lot of players get booked for this. But when it's the captain that comes to the ref and talks to the ref, I think the captain has every right to represent his team.
All right, just like I said, the captains have every right to definitely represent their team in situations like this, in order to also allow the referees make the right call. So yes, that's why we have IFAB and all of these laws to help checkmate the game, and their bodies put in place to regulate outcomes of games, so that people don't just go against the rule thinking they can make their own rules. Players like Ganero Gattuso. Anyways, let's go to some highlights from the ongoing FIFA Club World Cup. When we come back, the show continues. All right, welcome back, beautiful scenes from the ongoing FIFA Club World Cup. See why the Real Madrid played out a 1-0 draw against Al Hilal. Did it come to you as a surprise, or was it expected? Because for me, I knew Al Hilal would definitely be scoring against Real Madrid, because they've been on a scoring spree in the Saudi Pro League. But against Real Madrid, just maybe. But were you expecting this result from Real Madrid?
To be honest, I expected this. Okay. To be honest with you, because when you have a new coach with a totally different kind of ideology, philosophy and style of play, coming into a club like Real Madrid, and then he has just worked, I think, just 1 week with these players. You don't expect rocket science, you don't expect magic to start happening.
It's not magic, obviously.
It won't. Already these guys have been playing under Ancelotti for over 4 years, and many of them have played under him before this is second spell. So they are already used to his style of play. His style of play is not a bad style of play at all. Just that when a new coach comes in,
it takes time.
It takes time.
True.
It takes time. And especially a kind of coach that the way Xabi Alonso plays is totally different from the way Carlo Ancelotti sets up his team. They are two totally different kind of philosophy and ideology. Okay. Now, he has just worked with the team for less than a week. We don't expect magic to happen. So it will take time for this team to blend. And then Al Hilal, on the other hand, they have been a very solid team in the Saudi Pro League.
Undoubtedly the best team in the Saudi Pro League.
Yes, actually the best team in the Saudi Pro League. And then they have very solid players, mostly players that were taken away from Europe.
Like Mitrovic.
Yes, a lot of them. Okay, so they have a very solid team. And now we see what they were trying to do before this competition started, why they were going for a lot of players, because they needed to boost their team, okay, especially in attack. Al Hilal is a very strong team. I expected a very tight game because of the change of guard or the change of coaches in Real Madrid. So I expected some time to be taken off. I don't expect Real Madrid to win this tournament. I don't.
That's a big one. Some people will definitely put them among the clear favorites.
Yeah, Madrid is Madrid. Madrid is Madrid.
Yes, they are.
Okay, but I don't, expectation-wise, I don't expect Real Madrid to win this tournament, because you have very solid teams, very, very solid teams in this competition. PSG is still there. Remember, Man City will always be Man City. True. Irrespective of whoever they are playing.
True.
They will still be Man City. Now, you have very solid teams, very, very solid teams in this competition. Bayern is still there. So, I don't expect Real Madrid at the moment is not on that level. They are not on that level. Real Madrid will always be Real Madrid, but I don't expect them.
I think the name just follows them.
Yes.
So when you want to play against a team like Real Madrid, you just remember, I'm playing against Real Madrid.
Yes. I'm not saying this because of the draw.
Okay.
I'm not saying it because of the draw. Even before that, before they started the tournament, I already said it. I was talking to a friend of mine, and I told him that I don't expect Real Madrid to win this tournament. I don't, honestly. I don't expect Real Madrid because...
All right. I wanted to say something. Sorry to cut you short. So I started smiling when you said you don't expect Real Madrid, and then again, there's Chelsea FC. I mean, if there's no hope for Real Madrid, what about Chelsea?
sorry, no hope for Chelsea. I'm sorry. Chelsea may not even get to the semi-finals.
Yeah.
Yes, Chelsea won't. Don't be carried away by conference. Don't be carried away by conference.
I mean, don't run the conference league.
Don't be carried away by conference league. They are two totally different levels.
No, I understand completely.
The conference league, it was more like a 20 years old man in primary 3.
Yeah.
You know the age difference, and then no matter what happens, the 20-year-old man will still have the advantage.
But coming from okay, let's talk about Chelsea Football Club that won the Champions League in 2021 under Thomas Tuchel, and
Yes.
the same players that were not doing so well with Frank Lampard and all of that. Now, Chelsea were obviously not the clear favourite to win the Champions League that year. They were not the best team in the world, let's be honest. But they found their way to the final.
Yeah, they found their
and
way
they
to
won
the
it.
final.
So, do you think
Maresca will not find his way to the final?
you are so sure?
I'm sure you will not find his way
during
to
the course
the
of the
final.
show on Tuesday, I spoke to Lawrence and I asked him, Paris Saint-Germain coming from the back of winning the Champions League, a very beautiful season they had. Do you think they're the clear favourite to win the Champions League?
To be honest with you, they are the clear favourites.
I agree with you on this one.
They are the clear.
Yeah.
If you look at that team, they have a very solid and balanced team. And as long as injury doesn't disrupt their chemistry, man, we have, like, that team will dominate. That team will dominate. Look at the first game. It may be the opening game, but that was a statement. They made a very huge
They did not play
statement.
They played Atletico Madrid.
That was a very huge statement. A very huge one. That team, we show people pepper.
Wow. They will end up defending the Champions League.
They may.
They're so good. I don't know how it happened. It just rose to...
Funny enough, do you know that in the first 5 games of the Champions League last season, after the first 4 to 5 games, they were sitting on position 20 on the log. As a matter of fact, they were even outside the top 24.
Wow.
All of a sudden, something just clicked.
What clicked? Was it Desiree Doué?
I don't know.
Was it Ousmane
honestly
Dembele?
don't know.
I can't explain it.
I think sometimes it happens like that in football. You may just be having, just like what happened to Chelsea too.
Prior to Tuchel coming in?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a very terrible team, to be honest. It was a very, very terrible team.
Yeah.
But somehow, something just clicked. That chemistry, they just found that chemistry.
It just started working.
It just started working.
Yeah.
So it happens like that sometimes in football. I think that was what happened to PSG. PSG were a very
So are you
terrible
saying
team.
it's a case of luck? Or
No.
they're just too good?
Not luck. Like I said, they found something. They found something that they will never share that recipe with the rest of the world.
Please, can you share it to the world? I'm sure teams like Arsenal, Chelsea,
They will
Manchester
never share that
United.
recipe with the rest of the world. Something happened.
Okay.
Otherwise, so why were they not playing well? Towards at the first 4 games.
Yeah.
They were not playing well. They were a very terrible team, to be honest with you. But all of a sudden, something clicked, and that is their recipe. They will never share it with the world.
But then again, there's Bayern Munich, who annihilated Auckland City 10-0.
Now, let me tell
What's
you
the
something.
hope for Bayern?
Well, let me tell you something. That Auckland City team,
Yeah.
majority of them were not professional footballers.
Oh.
They were part-time footballers.
Oh, wow.
Yes, a lot of them have other jobs. They play football for fun. I would like to say fun, or they are not full-time footballers.
I mean, it goes
So,
back to the conversation we had earlier, talking about the MLS and the Americans not really taking football as the major sport. It's for them, it's just okay, but it's not really the major sport in America. Maybe that might just,
You know, I won't be surprised. I just even got to know today that football is actually called soccer in Australia. I used to think it was just the US and Canada. They have other sports,
wow,
like cricket, that takes their 100% attention. Football is popular, but when it's cricket, the whole Australia turns upside down. So I think they are just trying to manage, like, let's not be as if we don't have a league.
Yeah.
And they actually have a good national team, a very solid national team, but it's more like the same bracket with US. So Australia is almost the same bracket with the US when it comes to football and everything football. So most of the players in that Auckland City are not full-time footballers. They have other jobs. that they do. So I will not be carried away.
By
I won't be carried away by
defeating
Bayern Munich are
10
used
goals to
to
nothing.
they are used to being predators. Okay, they prey on
Weak
teams. Any small team, any weak team they catch, they will deal with you very well. We have seen even 20-0 from Bayern Munich, 16-0 and others. So they are used to. We know them. Even when they get come in contact with, or when they face a big team, any opportunity they get, that's it. That has been their tradition. They will deal with you. We saw it with Barcelona 8-2. So even with Arsenal.
All right, so this is not a determining factor to win.
So I won't be carried away.
All right, but then again, there's Juventus who defeated Alain 5-0 also earlier this morning. Any hope for them?
No. Juve won't go anywhere. Now, we are just, one thing we have been doing, even before this tournament started, was making the Europeans declare favourites. We are not even talking about the South American teams.
Sure.
South American teams are very dangerous. Very, very dangerous.
Let's talk about Palmeiras. Nobody's talking about them. They played a goalless draw against FC Porto. But then again, they seem to me like a force to be reckoned with. And I know we're not talking about them so much, but then they might just. Look at Botafogo defeated Seattle Sounders 2-1. There are other teams that we might not be talking about because our focus is obviously on the European teams, just like you said. But then there's still Boca Juniors. They played out a 2-2 draw against Dortmund. And look at Fluminense. Fluminense played out a goalless draw against Borussia Dortmund. Oh, sorry. Boca Juniors played Benfica 2-2. And it was 0-0 Fluminense, Borussia Dortmund. So nobody's, like you said, nobody's really talking about the South American teams that much. Before
this Club World Cup, before it was expanded to this level, South American teams, apart from European teams, South American teams have played more finals than any other
and let's
continent.
not forget in 2012 they defeated Corinthians, defeated Chelsea.
Apart from European teams, South American teams have won it like 2 to 3 times, defeating European teams in the final. So they are the second most successful continent when it comes to this tournament. So I think they deserve a lot of respect from us. A lot of us are just focusing more on the Europeans.
Because they are the things we get to see on a daily basis.
Yes, actually. But then I won't be surprised if a South American makes it to the final. I won't be surprised. It's going to be very difficult because of the number of huge European teams in this tournament. But then I am still giving them that benefit of doubt.
What of Lionel Messi's Inter Miami?
Nowhere. They're not going anywhere. They won't even cross the group stage.
That's a big one.
I'm sorry to say they won't. That is not a team.
Okay, all right.
I am not a Messi or Ronaldo fan. You know right from time.
You're very mucho.
Yes.
You just watch the game because you love it.
So I watch it because I love it.
Yeah.
Looking at that Inter Miami team, they won't go anywhere. Sorry. No, any Messi fan watching this. So I'm sorry to say.
Well, Messi's fans, you guys have heard it from CY. No hope.
No hope.
Messi and Inter Miami.
No hope. That's not that.
But why though?
They don't have a team.
Okay.
They don't have a team. Even their qualification is controversial. Their participation in this tournament is very controversial. Very, very controversial.
Okay.
Yes, because a lot of people see it like FIFA just handpicked them. I know they did well. They won the MLS Cup or Fans Cup. Okay, we know the controversy surrounding that.
Yeah.
The main league champion was not picked. Instead, they were picked. So it's very controversial. So and going by what we saw in the first game, it may be an opening game, but that was a huge statement because even the African team that they played against dominated the first half completely. Completely dominated the first half. They were unlucky not to score goals. I think they even missed a penalty in that game.
They did.
So
and Messi almost got a goal with his famous free kick, but then
Messi alone cannot carry that team.
Not at all.
It is not an Argentine team.
True.
If you look at the Argentine team, they have a lot of superstars. Even though they are not being praised, they are not getting the credit they deserve. They have a lot of superstars in Argentina. Is it Barcelona or PSG? No. This Inter Miami team won't go anywhere. They should forget about the ones they are doing in the MLS. They are in the MLS because they are the only one-eyed man in the midst of blind people.
Pretty fast pen. But before we go, Michael Mudryk is facing a potential ban of up to 4 years after the Football Association charged the Chelsea winger with a doping offence. I saw this news this morning. It really broke my heart because it's been one struggle to the other, and now if he eventually gets a 4-year ban, it's a big one for
That's
him.
2020,
It's a big loss for him and a big loss for Chelsea, considering the amount of money they paid to bring Mikhailo Mudryk to Chelsea Football
Yes, would have
Club.
just allowed Arsenal to sign that guy.
You think he will have had a better story with Arsenal?
I
Football
don't think so, but Chelsea will not be facing this conundrum right now. Chelsea will not be in this dilemma right now of 80-something million pounds gone.
That's a lot
So
of money.
if Arsenal had signed him, it would
Yeah.
have been Arsenal that would have been complaining about this right now, scratching their head and say, we invested wrongly. Oh.
On Mudryk.
That's why
I mean,
sometimes-
Mudryk looked really potential when he came.
Yes.
Because, especially against Arsenal, that particular game where he did all those dribbles, and we're like, okay, maybe this start of something good.
A lot of factors can
Yeah.
influence situations like this. For example, he came from the Ukrainian league.
Ukrainian, yes, he did.
Okay. Just like I said earlier, one-eyed man in the midst of blind people
Yeah.
can feel like a president until you move to the midst of people with two eyes.
True.
You will now know that this thing I've been enjoying since is not really complete.
True.
So it may be that case. Secondly, it may be a case of confidence level. When he moved to England, he noticed he
Yeah.
now saw that this place is not.
It's not Ukraine where
It's
I was
not
coming
Ukraine.
from.
So,
Yeah.
Stepping up may now become the problem. And when you are not around a coach that can boost your confidence level, it can really affect you. And then this incident now happened. And from what I heard, and from what he's saying, he said he has not changed his diet within that period. He had a doping test in August,
Okay.
which he passed. And he said from that period till December when he was caught, he said he has not changed his diet. He has been taking the same set of meals, following the same routine. He was even suggesting that the sample that was taken might have been contaminated.
Oh, wow.
But then that is just alleged, like it's a claim. What the anti-doping people are working with is the fact on ground. The sample that they had, it's not their business whether it was infected or not. They got it from you, from your body. So as much as I feel for him, I told you earlier this morning that I feel more for Chelsea.
Likewise.
I feel more for
I mean,
Chelsea.
bad market.
I feel more for Chelsea because
Really
it was
bad
a
market.
very wrong investment.
True, it
He's
was.
still young. He's 23. And if he's eventually given the 4 years ban, he will be coming back in 2029 when he's 27. Now,
Well, I hope he doesn't get 4-year ban.
yeah, we saw the case of Paul Pogba, and it was reduced to just 18 months or
Yeah.
so. So he's using the same law firm as Paul Pogba right now
Okay,
to fight
okay.
to appeal. But I don't think that will work because Pogba's incident happened while he was in Italy. That's different. The laws in England are different. That's why he's getting a 4 years ban.
Sure.
In Italy, it was two. Like it would have been 2 years ban. But in England, it's different. 4.
Oh, wow.
They don't have mercy on anybody.
Well, sometimes to him who much is given, much is expected.
Exactly.
And Mudryk, a lot was spent on him for him to come to Chelsea and prove his worth, but he didn't live up to that expectation. Just maybe, the pressure of having to live up to 80 million pounds might have gotten to him in a way that even us, we cannot understand. But I just hope the English FA will temper mercy. with
The law is
justice.
the law.
The law is the law, but I
don't think it's going
I
to
hope
be spared.
Mudryk will not, be out for 4 years. An
I hope
amazing
so.
player he
We
still
all hope
is.
so. We all hope
All
so.
right, CY, any final words before we end the show today?
Inter Miami will not win club.
All right, he's still standing on business. Well, let's see. Like I always say, I like an underdog story. We never know what happens. That's the much you can take on the show for today. It's been an amazing time with you, CY. Thank you. Always
Thank you,
a pleasure.
thank you.
And to our amazing football fans and sports lovers, until I come your way next time, I remain Dearest Timber. And of course, do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms at Idea Television. Stay happy and bye for now.
Hello and welcome to Beyond the Game, right here on Idea Television. The show takes you beyond the pitch, the scores and stats to champion integrity, inclusivity and innovation in the world of sports, powered by cutting-edge technology and groundbreaking research. An educative, fun and interesting show that keeps you glued to your TV screens. I am Dearest Tiba, and I am thrilled to take you guys on a roller coaster ride in the world of sports and innovation. And of course, let's keep the conversation going. Follow us across all our social media platforms at Idea Television and stay connected with every